Chinese President Xi Jinping has visited many countries, and during each visit, he talks about his understanding of the local culture. In his view, cultural exchanges is one of the best ways for different countries and peoples to understand and communicate with each other. In September 2015, Xi visited the United States. At a welcome banquet in Seattle, when he talked about the books he has read, it was clear that he is well acquainted with the works of US politicians and writers. He specifically mentioned his love of Hemingway's The Old Man and the Sea. He said, "I was most captivated by Ernest Hemingway's The Old Man and the Sea and its descriptions of howling wind, driving rain, rolling waves, small boat, the old man and sharks." Not only was Xi impressed, he even tried to fear for himself what was on Hemingway's mind and what the circumstances were when he wrote his stories. When Xi went to Cuba for the first time, he paid a special visit to the trestle where Hemingway wrote The Old Man and the Sea. And on his second visit to Cuba, Xi, then Vice President of China, dropped by the bar Hemingway frequented and ordered Hemingway's favorite rum with mint leaves and ice. She said, "It's always important to make an effort to get a deep understanding of cultures and civilizations that are different from our own." Hemingway portrayed tough guys who embodied the human spirit of a fighter and of optimism, someone who would never give in. This approach to life deeply impressed Xi. The spirit described in The Old Man and the Sea is indeed an eternal spirit, he said. Xi has not only always been open-minded and inclusive to the cultures of different countries and peoples, but also been keen to better tell China's story by integrating fine traditional Chinese culture. He keeps presenting Chinese history and culture to the world, an outstanding landscape of Chinese diplomacy. In 2014, she attended the international conference in commemorating the 2565th anniversary of Confucius' birth and the opening session of the 5th Congress of the International Confucian Association. In his speech, he took Shao Kang from the Confucian classic Book of Rites as an example, explaining that Chinese communists have always been the faithful inheritors and advocates of the fine traditional Chinese culture. In November 2014 in Beijing, she told then US President Barack Obama that to understand today's China and predict tomorrow's China, one has to understand China's past and understand its culture. The way people in modern China think and the way their leaders govern are all imbued with the genes of Chinese traditional culture. Xi's cultural diplomacy conveys China's cultural confidence, confidence that stems from his determination to uphold the beauty of each civilization and the diversity of civilizations in the world. In 2019, he was in Greece and made a point of visiting the Acropolis Museum in Athens. He stood for a while in front of the statue of the Critias boy, and later the relief of the pensive Athena gave him pause for thought. In talking to then Greek president, she said, 止戈为武, quoting a Chinese idiom that means, boldness lies in the suspension of hostilities. She's reflecting on what exactly war means, he said. He also pointed out that exchanges and integration of civilizations should be used to overcome the clash of civilization theory and promote the common values of all mankind embodied in Chinese civilization. Xi is keen on promoting the idea of human civilization developing with mutual respect, mutual help, and coexistence. As he pointed out, promoting such exchanges and mingling as well as mutual learning and preference is an indispensable path towards a better world, and better lives for people of all countries.